Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the crypto movement. My name's Peter, and today we're going to talk about some interesting things with Gary Gensler stating that most cryptos are actually securities and very few are not, and most need to be regulated. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, it tells YouTube that this information is important and more people will get a chance to see this and we'll be able to grow the channel. So please hit that like button and let's go ahead and get started. So over on Twitter, I saw this that Bitboy Crypto, aka Ben Armstrong, shout out to you. He shares an article. Regulation SEC Chair Gary Gensler attacks Coinbase, says very few cryptos aren't securities. So that was kind of interesting with the fact that when XRP and Ripple got hit with this back in the end of 2020, stating that they've been selling securities and it's been a mess for the past 9 months. It just really set the precedent to really open this up to crypto and this attack on this growing industry. And I think that compared to the former chair, I mean, we're going to get into that, but they're going to such an extreme level. But let's see what bitboycrypto.com, what they say about it. Regulation SEC Chair Gary Gensler attacks Coinbase, says very few cryptos aren't securities. So they're just trying to upload on really everything crypto right now. So he says during today's Senate Banking Committee hearing, SEC Chair Gary Gensler took shots at Coinbase and stablecoins as several senators attacked him for his over-regulatory approach to crypto. And that's kind of what it feels like right now, is that they are doing everything they can to try to put this regulation umbrella over the crypto community. And it's like a panic. So let's get more into this. Is the SEC everyone's daddy? Now, should I go on with that? I mean, we could talk about governments and again, for your safety. The whole deal on if you were following the AMC short squeeze situation and the situation with Robinhood and these things that happened that really pulled back the curtain on how the game is played and the fact that the little guy is just trying to make it and they just seem to want to do one thing or another to try to suppress and hold us all back. So anyway, they said concern over transparency on crypto regulation. Gensler revealed his aggressive plan to rein in everything from cryptocurrencies to the meme stock frenzy spurred by friends of Bitboy Crypto. Wall Street bets. Several lawmakers denounced Gensler's agenda for stifling innovation, increasing costs for investors, and statements about most cryptocurrencies being a security. So this is huge. Gensler attacked stablecoins, specifically stating that they may well be securities. So it just seems like if we don't get clarity on this, this is going to continue over and over again. But it's like XRP was like a doorway, which is we're still dealing with that, for all this to come under attack. John Kennedy, a Louisiana Republican, even hilariously asked Gensler if he was everyone's daddy. So this whole thing is a joke. Everything that's going on in our world, and so hold the faith. It just seems like it's all theater, but I mean it's gotten out of control. So Kennedy goes on, as to the people and the companies that you regulate, as chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy? Kennedy asked Gensler. Why do you impose your personal preferences about cultural issues and social issues on companies and therefore their customers and their workers? So Senator Pat Toomey's been pretty active on, really fighting for the crypto community and asking for, clear, answers on how to go about this. So Senator Pat Toomey, a senator well known to be pro crypto, which we need, made it abundantly clear that he disapproved of the SEC's approach against Coinbase because they're really going after Coinbase right now. The Pennsylvania Republican expressed the agency was trying to regulate digital tokens through enforcement. It seems like that's going on all around the world past crypto. Everyone's aware. Action rather than clearly defining goals or defining rules. He added that the SEC hasn't been transparent with crypto companies about how it determines whether digital assets are securities, which are subject to tough investor protection rules by the SEC. Again, we have a regulation issue, and I wish that there could actually be transparency when you see people in Congress that are worth over $100 million. Let's look at insider trading. Let's look at the things they do, but of course not. It's always against, the people. Toomey further told Gensler he was concerned the SEC hasn't provided a sufficient definition. And if you guys remember a video I did last week talking about, even Mark Cuban is saying, hey, can we just get an answer? Can we get a definition of this so that we have clarity of what's going on? And that's what Ripple's fighting for right now. And again, this is spreading throughout the whole crypto industry. So he talks about the sufficient definition as to how it would apply to the Howey test. And that's the thing that's been going around to determine for many years, is this a security? And again, the Howey test, a reference to the Supreme Court ancient decision that supposedly defines the 4 criteria for identifying if an investment is a security. Goes on to say, to me, a stable coin doesn't meet the second prong of the Howey test, that there has to be an expectation of profits from the investment, Toomey said. If it doesn't meet the Howey test, it looks to me like it's not a security, because that's what they've been using for years. Now, maybe you've got a good argument for why some are and some aren't, but I think we need to have clarity on this. Again, this is where all of us are at. We want clarity on this. Again, like I was talking about Mark Cuban. I think we ought to have that publicly, and I think we got to have that publicly, and certainly shouldn't be taking enforcement action against somebody without having first provided that clarity. Toomey added. Yeah, and that just seems to be what this whole XRP situation is that it's just tying it up. It's just suppressing it for some reason. So Gensler says, small number of cryptos aren't securities, shots at Coinbase. So this is some of the issue with Coinbase that the SEC is coming after. Gensler said he thought there were only a small number of cryptocurrencies that don't need to be registered with the SEC. Again, there's thousands of cryptos, and that's what Gary Gensler is saying. One of crypto's favorite senators, Cynthia Lummis, who's a Republican from Wyoming, repeated Toomey's concern, go Toomey, about a lack of transparency for rules governing crypto, asking if Gensler was in favor of responsible financial innovation. And Gensler responded that he is strongly in favor of innovation, adding that the SEC has encouraged newer companies to engage with the agency. So again, they just want to regulate and put everything and funnel it all through SEC. I've said, come in, whether it's in crypto or elsewhere, Gensler said. The SEC chair also later took a direct hit against Coinbase expressing that many of the assets currently listed Coinbase may be securities. He further stated that Coinbase does not currently have a license to operate as a stock exchange, even though they have dozens of tokens that might be securities. So this is all pretty interesting stuff. Gensler's shots fired at Coinbase are important as the comments were made without a direct question about securities. The comments were made in reply to questions by crypto critic Senator Warren, and she's always around. Again, it's about your safety so they can protect themselves, as always. Who's a Democrat of Massachusetts who asked whether customers could be harmed. Again, this is the kind of nonsense that we're dealing with over and over again, and we really saw this in play with the stock situation with GameStop. So she says, of course, customers could be harmed when exchanges like Coinbase are unable to operate under high trading volume. Gensler also told Warren again that the SEC needed more staff and funding to police the industry. Again, police your life, police your investment, police everything so that they have the power and you are completely the servant. There are 6,000 projects, and while some are commodities, many are securities under the law, he said. Right now, there are many individuals in this country who've been hurt. Oh, brother. There will be more harm since this crypto area is trying to stay outside the investor protection parameter. So, what do you guys think about all this? I mean, do you think that they're doing this to protect you? Do you think they're doing this to protect the little guy? Or do you think they're doing this to just create more regulation, take more in taxes? You know, you saw a video that I did about the infrastructure bill and them trying to get rid of the tax situation that is on um, stocks and things like that, about where you can't, when you claim a loss, you can't go back and buy that crypto to really help out on that offsetting. So Gensler made his position clear by discussing current laws, which he said could be changed by Congress. So he says this Congress could change the laws, but the laws we have right now have a very broad definition of a security. Okay, then that's what he said. So as Bitboy Crypto reported last month, the SEC chair echoed much of the same, stating he believed many tokens may be unregistered securities without required disclosures or market oversight. So that's what they're saying, and this goes into Coinbase because Coinbase has been under attack, and they say the Coinbase versus SEC. So the statement that Coinbase may be selling securities without a license after Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong lashed out at the SEC on Twitter, disclosing that the SEC had threatened to sue the company if it went forward with a plan to launch its product called Lend that would pay consumers 4% interest on their USDC stablecoin, that stablecoin they choose to lend out. So in a clear overreach, the SEC also requested all of Coinbase customers information who signed up for its forthcoming Lend program. The SEC sent a Wells notice to the exchange, which essentially means that the agency aims to bring a lawsuit against Coinbase if it launches its Lend program. The overall picture there is that the SEC says lending is a security. That's important. America's current securities law classes lending as a security with the exception of bank and some other institutions, of course. Yeah. So ironically, the law is meant to protect investors from unauthorized investment contracts in a common enterprise, but banks are exempt and can offer customers lending. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think, again, this is, to protect the banks or to protect you and me? So the SEC argues that Coinbase lending program is an investment contract that requires the effort of others who have an expectation of profit or yielded return. Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, argues that their lending program isn't a security, stating that lend does not constitute an investment contract. So this is going to be interesting how this pans out. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think this is something for our safety? Do you think that this is gonna, cripple the crypto community right now? What's your guys' thoughts? And again, I just want to say that I'm not a professional financier. I'm not giving financial advice here, so don't take anything I say. Um, whether you buy or sell, do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes. So I just wanted to touch on this today and see what you guys think. Leave your comments down below and make sure you smash that like button so that this goes out to more people and more people are aware of what's going on in the crypto industry and also what's going on, with the SEC and beyond just XRP, because it doesn't stop there. It continues on. So if you haven't subscribed, consider doing so, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.